Hampshire remain league leaders. The French Oaks has been won by Steve Cawthon riding Indian Skimmer. They finished well ahead of the French favourite, Mies.
But Indian Skimmer has sprinted into the lead, and it's surely an unassailable lead. Indian Skimmer is sprinting away from Mies, Gandalf, Pinchel, Nasser and Masboda. As they race up towards the line, Indian Skimmer's going to win in tremendous style. Indian Skimmer is the winner at the line. Mies is second, Masboda is third.
Indian Skimmer, the winner by 4 lengths from Miesque. The French Derby winner Masmouda was third. Elsewhere in France, there were mixed fortunes for Britain. Although Derek Bell co-drove the winning car in the Le Mans 24-hour race, the British manufacturer Jaguar failed to stop the West German Porsches, dominating the event for the 7th year in a row.
There were hopes this race would produce the first Jaguar victory at Le Mans in 30 years. It wasn't to be, but only after a thrilling race which saw the 3 Jaguars hounding the leading Porsche for many hours. Early this morning, one of the Jaguars overturned at over 200 miles per hour, leaving driver Wyn Percy shaken but unhurt. The second Jaguar had an engine failure 5 hours later, but the remaining car finished 5th after many pit stops and a breakdown out on the track put right by the driver. One consolation for British fans is a 5th Le Mans victory for veteran English long-distance racer Derek Bell, co-driving the winning Porsche.
And finally, about 100,000 people packed the quayside at Bristol City Docks for the Bristol Powerboat Grand Prix. The American boats started as favourites in an event that's gained a reputation for spectacular and often dangerous racing. But the organisers say they've improved safety, and it's soon developed into a duel between Britain's Tony Williams and the American Don Johnson. Although Johnson was first home, he was penalised for hitting a marker buoy, leaving the Briton ruling the waves. And that's all from the newsroom this weekend. Good night.
Good evening to you. After today's heavy showers and thunderstorms, I think we're beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. A hint that maybe later on in the week there will be some warmer weather on the way, but certainly the way things were earlier this evening, a lot of showers around across the country and a lot of unsettled weather over most of Europe as well. And it's hardly surprising because there's low pressure over Europe, over the British Isles, Scandinavia too, and that's going to be around with us for some considerable time. In fact, that area of low pressure over France will end up over Scandinavia, a very deep affair indeed, but at least by the middle of the week, a ridge of high pressure cheering our weather up. Now at the moment there are still quite a few showers around, 1 or 2 on the heavy side as well. Most of them will die away during the course of the night. They'll keep going though in some of those western areas. A fairly chilly night, once again a touch of ground frost in those northernmost parts. Tomorrow many places starting off dry and reasonably bright, although there will be the odd shower around, chiefly again in the west. But once again, as the morning goes on, that cloud will be bubbling up, and eventually I think a fair number of showers will break out, and perhaps these showers merging together into some longer spells of rain. This more especially in the southeastern corner of the country, where incidentally some of the showers could be heavy, hail and thunder mixed in with them as well. Not all that many showers over Scotland and Northern Ireland, but everywhere tomorrow a cool day, particularly so in the southeast. That's all for now. A very good night to you.
And now with details of tomorrow night's panorama, here's Michael Cockrell.
For the 3rd time in 8 years, the Thatcher factor has proved the most potent force in British politics. Yet only a week before polling day, Neil Kinnock was flying high, convinced he was about to win a famous victory and that Labour was running a brilliant campaign.
We get a report of the Tory press conference.
Thatcherism had become the central issue of the election. Panorama filmed behind the scenes of the campaign and reveals how Neil Kinnock's election strategy played straight into the Prime Minister's hands. That's the battle for number 10, Panorama, tomorrow night at 9:30.
Well, now on BBC One, Rabbi Julia Neuberger presents a new series of programmes that examines our modern-day choices. Well, next week's Choices is all about forgiveness and how it applies to crime. And Rabbi Julia Neuberger is joined in discussion by John Stalker, former Deputy Chief Constable of Greater Manchester, Professor Terence Morris, convicted murderer Jimmy Boyle, and Lady Ewart Biggs, whose husband was a victim of the IRA. Choices is at 10:20 next Sunday here on BBC One. In 25 minutes, Patrick Moore discusses with Dr. Ron Madison the movements of the moon in the sky at night and the effects here on the planet Earth. But first on BBC One, we head for the sun and a country that is blessed with more than most as we go discovering Portuguese.
Noon, I sell accident insurance on husbands. You got one that's been around too long, one you'd like to turn into a little hard cash? Killed her for money. For a woman. I didn't get the money and I didn't get the woman.
Saturday night on Channel 4.
Want to build up your savings? Get into Halifax Instant Extra. Start with just £500. But the more you put in, the more you benefit, as the interest steps up to a powerful 7.75% net. Take out your money anytime. You won't lose interest. So get a healthy return on your investment with Instant Extra from the Halifax.
Gamer's Old English Cider. It's the only thing to drink when you have an Old English thirst. Gamer's Old English, the original strong cider.
How do you substitute a number 12 for a number 9 at 7:28?
You tell the young man from me, he's dropped.
Cellnet. For people going places.
I don't care whose son he is. He's not playing.
New Oriental from Lynx, the body spray for men that's hard to top. Lynx, because first impressions last.
For pensions, turn to Norwich Union. Talk to your independent financial advisor. For pensions, you're better off the Norwich way.
This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in a silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall, or as a moat defensive to a house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England.
Well, now, I know I shouldn't mention it, but Monday morning is on the horizon, and with it a whole new week. And that's cause for celebration here on 4, for we have a new series on living in small spaces, spacecraft, beginning tomorrow evening at 6. There's the return of Hill Street Blues with roll call at 10 o'clock. And oh, frabjous joy, we begin our serialisation of Tom Sharp's Porterhouse Blue on Wednesday night at 10:05. But that's it for this Sunday night. So from me, Kate Moon, and all here at Channel 4, good night.
nationwide view of estate agents is going to be altogether different, because this year the Nationwide Building Society has brought together some of the country's finest estate agents to create a new network to serve the nation. Some of the very best, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, were invited to join. And now we're all working to bring you a better service, all together.
All together now.
All together now. All together now. Altogether, over 350 of the best estate agents nationwide are now nationwide.
Do the shake and back and put the freshness back. Do the shake and back and put the freshness back.
Put the freshness back in your carpet with Glade Shake and Vac.
I'm not a dentist, but I recognize this. The tool dentists use to scrape away tartar. Recognize this? Crest in the silver box. A fluoride toothpaste that actively helps stop tartar from coming back. Look, hard, ugly tartar has to be scraped away. But now you can help keep your teeth tartar-free. So more of this could mean less of this. Tartar Control Crest. Not only fights fillings, it helps keep teeth tartar-free.
Even when life is frantic or frenzied, you'll find it has its finer moments with new Fine Blend. Finer because it has fuller flavour and yet a finer smoothness. A new Fine Blend for your finer moments. Uninterrupted pleasure. New Nescafe Fine Blend. Fuller flavour, finer smoothness.
When it comes to ice cream with a creme de la creme with natural flavors to choose from, make banana splits that are fit for the Ritz. More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Made traditionally from an old recipe, no preservatives or additions. Additives get the boost so they taste the fresh fruit. More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Queen, cake, strawberries from France, we leave nothing to chance. As soon as they're ripe, we freeze them. Regardez le flavor, c'est pas tout savor.
More reasons to shop at Morrison's.
Here's something to tickle your palate.
Yes! A sweetener with no bitter aftertaste.
Twix with NutraSweet.